Later tonight, PSG will be taking on Tottenham Hotspur in the UEFA Super Cup final. The big question is, will another London team prevent PSG from lifting a trophy in the final? Or will Tottenham Hotspur pay for Chelsea's sin against PSG in the Club World Cup final? Hello guys, welcome to another edition of Football Talk with Football Art. Today, we are taking a look at the Super Cup final coming up later tonight between Paris Saint-Germain, the Champions League winners, and Tottenham Hotspur, the Europa League winners. In this video, we'll be looking at both teams' strengths and weaknesses and what to expect at the end of the day from the team, personal predictions and all that. And also, don't forget you're also allowed to add your predictions in the comment section. So let's dive straight in. The Super Cup is usually between the Champions League winner and the Europa League winner. Don't forget that not long ago we saw PSG humiliating Inter Milan in the Champions League final after beating Arsenal to get there. We saw them humiliating Inter Milan by 5-0. If we go straight to the Europa, we also saw that we saw Man U losing that final to Tottenham. Then let us look at the both teams in the competitions leading to this Super Cup final. For Tottenham, I told you that they finished 17th in the domestic league, while they were able to remove teams like AZ Alkmaar, Eintracht Frankfurt. They were also able to remove the likes of Bodo Glimt before beating Man U in that final. And if you look at their last 5 games, they've been struggling and they've not been scoring too many goals. And the latest one was the 4-0 defeat against Bayern Munich. And of course, they have a new coach and all that. But look at PSG. PSG finished, they won their league with at least 6 games to go. And apart from winning their league, they won the domestic cup as well. And they have been beating everybody across Europe until they got to the Club World Cup final against Chelsea. And if you want to look at the teams that PSG have beaten, you understand that Tottenham doesn't stand a chance. Just like Chelsea didn't stand a chance in the final. And Chelsea and Tottenham have one thing in common, and that is that they are both London teams. You understand? They are both English teams. And like I said in one of my previous videos, English teams were the most challenging when it came to PSG this season. So looking at PSG, they have beaten a lot of the big names in Europe, including Bayern Munich that humbled the Tottenham 4-0. They have beaten Real Madrid, they have beaten Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City. So PSG has beaten the biggest teams as far as football is concerned. That's why I was saying that Chelsea came from a position of underdogs to beat PSG in a final where they have played the biggest team and they have won. So that's what I'm wondering now. Although if you look at that game, people bring out the story of underestimation from the part of the PSG to Chelsea. So of which I believe that they wouldn't try it again. Looking at the team news, for PSG, they are without Donnarumma, whom they have refused to extend his contract and who is not part of the squad. And report has it that Donnarumma is at the verge of joining Man City as he has agreed personal terms with Manchester City. Then João Neves will not be featuring because of the red card he got against Chelsea in the final. You understand? So he's also left out of the squad. Then for Tottenham, of course, Son Heung-min has left the club. The coach that brought them to this level, Angel Postecoglou, is no longer with them as he has been sacked, and the new coach is Thomas Frank. So Thomas Frank in his preseason has not really been too convincing. James Maddison is still injured. Kulusevski is still injured as well. So although there's a good news for them, they signed some 1 or 2 players, and they also have Mohammed Kudus from West Ham. So that's just the team news. And looking at all this, you want to wonder, can Tottenham really upset PSG today? Don't forget that looking at the Ballon d'Or category as well, this can also give Dembele some boost in the ranking, you understand? So you have Desiree Doué, you have Dembele, you have Hakimi, and you have Vitinha, you have, Neves is not playing, you have Kvaratskhelia. These are all Ballon d'Or nominees, you understand? So personally, I come to my own prediction for this game. Judging by the fact that Tottenham has not been scoring more than 1 goal per match in the past 4 or 5 games, although they had victory over Arsenal, they had a draw versus Newcastle, and they also won some small things in the lower division in England. And judging by the people that PSG has played, and also judging by the fact that there's a score to be settled between PSG and an English team, courtesy of the victory or the defeat versus Chelsea. I think PSG will win this one. And I think I'm predicting a score line of 3-1. 3-1 or 4-1 as the case may be. But I don't think Tottenham will score more than 1 goal. I think PSG will win at the end of the day. That's my prediction. Do well to leave yours in the comment section and let us see who wins at the end of the day.